Hey, my loves, welcome back. It's the Soulful Stitcher. I can't remember what Flosstube number this is. So if you're new, welcome. If you're returning, thank you. Just don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also check the little bell so you get notified every time that I do a do a floss tube. So here we are next week or the week after my last video. So let's get into it. Life update, there's nothing to tell. I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It was very quiet the way that I wanted it. You know, like most of us, I've cooked so many years for my family and this and that. And I just decided once my last child moved out, that part of my life was over. So we had dinner, we ordered a dinner and, you know, had it delivered to us. And, you know, and that's the way that I want it. Now, my son, however, is coming home for Christmas. And for the very first time, I get to meet the young woman that, you know, he has chosen to be a part of his life. So that is very important. So we will cook, you know, for that. But after that, I'm not cooking again until he gets married and I start to see grandchildren. Yeah, not doing it. So he better be lucky that this is special because we'd be going out to dinner again. All right. So, let's talk about several different things. Woo, woo, woo. First up, as you guys know, that I told you as far as 2020, I was going to stop doing monthly sales, so to speak, and I'm going to start doing seasonal things. So, first up, we have winter solstice, which goes from December 21st to March 21st. And winter solstice, you know, it's partly about regeneration, renewal, self-reflection. And I think at the end of the year going into 2020, that's actually a good thing to reflect. You know what I'm saying? And take a look at where we were in 2019. Do we feel like 2020, there's things about us that need to be renewed? Are there things about us that need to be changed? Do we need to do self-reflection? So I think this is an appropriate, you know, challenge. This is going to be an appropriate event for soulful stitching. And I came up with a little something, and I was thinking about, you know, how to kick this off. And so this is just a little blurb that I wrote thinking about summer solstice and how cross-stitching mix-ins with that. And so, you know, every X has a place. You put the X in its place to birth something lovely, new, and beautiful. You will have to adjust and at times reposition. It takes color, flair, and finally, after hours, days, and years, it's completed. And you know that applies to us too, that we have a place, you know, that when we work on ourselves and we birth something new and beautiful and lovely, when we peel off those layers. And at times we do have to adjust our life, ourselves. We do have to reposition ourselves in certain things in our life. And then, you know, after a while, we do become completed to a certain degree. So I thought that was great. That was just something that I came up with. Might be cheesy to you guys, but I thought it's just appropriate. So to kick off the first event of summer solstice from December 21st to January 21st, we have the regeneration phase. And the regeneration is what I want you to do, or I want us to do, is to breathe life into something old, a sampler, a whip that has sat for a number of years. I want us to breathe life into that. For a month, just bring it back to life. You know, give it that energy, give it that love that it needs. Dust it off, pick it up, see what it needs just to give it that sparkle, that shine. So that is the first event for the winter solstice, which is from December 21st to January 21st. We are going to regenerate a whip. We are going to regenerate a sampler. We're going to breathe life into it. We're going to give it sparkle. We're going to give it shine. We're going to give it beauty. All right. So next up, let's go ahead and talk about whips. I really don't have any haul. I did purchase Christmas Sentiment and Blackbird Designs. Blackbird Designs. I forget which one it was, dude. I forget which one it was. It's the... let me just take a look at my order. I've been really wanting this pattern for quite some time. And so I finally went ahead and purchased it. So it's Blackbird Designs, and let's see here which one it is. And apparently they are going to arrive on Saturday. Snow Garden. That's the Blackbird Designs pattern that I bought. So that's kind of really the haul, besides a couple PDFs that I purchased. So let's go on and just talk about whips. This is going to be a really short video. So the first thing is Celtic Winter. I have worked on this some because right now also in Soulful Stitching we have a thing called 20 of 20 of 20, meaning you for 20 days straight, you take one project each day, which is 20 projects in the end, and you put 20 stitches in them. So that's what I've been doing. So I worked on Celtic Winter. I got the boxes done, need to fill those in. Need to go back and add more beads here, and I also need to fix this, you know, right in there. But for the most part, we're cruising right along. We're getting it together. Okay. Next up, I was able to get some more stitches in to The Baker's Wife by Mirabilia, which is this. Not a whole lot, but making some progress. So now we're starting to move into the feather in her hair, the purple. And I know my fabric is kind of wrinkled, but I'm not going to worry about it until it really matters. Towards the end when it's, you know, time to. So that's where I'm at. I'm getting some of this, the framing done and moved into her feather. Just because, you know, stitching the frame consistently was getting a little bit old and I kind of wanted to change. But working with the Gloriana silks, I believe. Oh, man, they're lovely. I can see why they cost, you know, what they do. And again, that doesn't mean that I'm going to go out of my way and buy them all the time. But I definitely do understand why. And then something else that I did is I just made a thread drops for these, for her. I made some thread drops. I've been kind of doing that a lot, making thread drops. Okay, so let's see what we have next. Oh, here's a piece of haul. And I do have another piece over there too, but I forgot to get it. And this, I'm just going to show it to you really quick, which is this pattern right here. Boom. It's like some springtime garden pattern that I got off of Etsy. I'm going to do it 1/1 DMC, just on a piece of oatmeal even weave. I think it's going to be very, very pretty on that. Okay. So that's that. Next up, oh, here's another piece of haul that I purchased. And this is called Shabby Winter Calendar. And I do not know how to pronounce her name, and I'm not going to butcher it, but it's right up there. Corrie, I don't know. And so I love this. And matter of fact, when I get finished doing this video, I'm going to go ahead and get started on it. And I think I'm just going to do that on a plain piece of even weave. I might, yeah, I'm just going to do it on a plain piece of white even weave. And it just calls for DMCs. So last night when I went to Michael's, I was able to get a 30% coupon off. So I just got a bunch of DMC to kit up some things and used it. So next up, what we have is Red Queen by Owl Forest Embroidery. And this is where I am at on this. I'm actually getting ready to start working into the Cheshire, or Cheshire, however you say it, cat. So I'm really excited about that. And again, that calls for some DMC. And let's see here. Just using regular DMC, and I did some more thread drops for that. And I just got some little rings. They might not be the right ones, but they were inexpensive, and I didn't feel like waiting for stuff to come in the mail. So I just did some more thread drops. Got the numbers on the back of them. And I hope, everybody is having a wonderful Thanksgiving. But you know what? And maybe this could have been me because I totally missed it. But dude, let me ask you a question. How do you have Thanksgiving and you don't even get to see Charlie Brown Thanksgiving? Like, I was kind of looking like, wait a minute, where do we do that at? Like, where do we do that? Okay? But the cool thing is I have the movie, so I watched it anyway. So the next up, again, is Owl Forest Embroidery. This is a free pattern that she gave to us. And it is the Wizard of Oz. And when I look at this pattern, it just breathes variegation to me. It really does. So what I'm doing is I'm using the DMC variegated floss. And the cool thing is the chart is done by sections. Oh, I forgot to put my wedding rings back on. So the chart is done by sections. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm picking colors as I go for each section. And this is how far I have gotten on this. Just right here. So as I go along, I will choose out of my variegation, just colors that I think fits. When I look at that, it just screams variegated floss to me. So I'm going to do that. And there may be some solid colors, like, of course, white or something. But for the most part, I'm going to do DMC variations. And that was another haul, because that was something that I didn't have. Next up is Wintery Teals by Shannon Christine. And this is where I've gotten so far on it. Okay, I don't need to unfold it. So I'm getting most of the frame done. I did DMC Diamond floss here, and using regular DMC, the called for colors, and then I added some beads. There's a lot of beading, So that's another thing that I did do, is when I went to Michael's last night, I purchased a whole new thing of Nymo thread. And the sad part about it is, I have the cone of Nymo thread too, but I didn't want to open it. So I just went ahead and opened another pack. I mean, the Michael's Black Fridays deals were so freaking good. It was absolutely ridiculous, dude. I mean, it was. I had a total that was beyond belief, and by the time I got finished, it brought it down to like $35. Not even kidding. I can't remember if I showed you this or not, but if I did, here it is again. And this is the geometric pattern. And I went and got all the floss for that. And so I'm just going to do that on white DMC. And here's the colors for it. I'm sorry, not white DMC, white even weave, and I'm going to stitch it over one, and these are the called for threads for it. And just again, I made some more thread drops. Yep. And this one, oh, nope, I'm going to save that one for last. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Oh, Very Merry Christmas Town by Flosstube Pumpkin Stitchery. And for this, I just kind of grabbed what was in my stash. And I'm stitching this over one. You know, white white opalescent linen. Or even weave. And this is as much as I've gotten done because I'm stitching it over one. So I'm doing the little candy cane gate up at the top of the roof of the house. So opalescent. All right. And then this is an oldie but goodie. And this was one that I was doing for 19 of 19 of 19. Dude, did I say 20? I did. I was so wrong. It's 19 of 19 of 19. I think when I first said that to you guys, I said 20. 20 will be next year. This year, it's 19 of 19 of 19. 19 projects, one every day for 19 days, 19 stitches. So this is Drawn Thread Sampler Game Board. And what I did on this one, which I'm doing again on even weave over one oatmeal. And I was kind of blown away because Pam and Steph, Miss Pam, she stitched this and it looked beautiful. Okay, so that's where I'm at. I actually finished the frame finally. And just because I got kind of tired of working on the frame and some of the letters, I started to move inside. So that's an owl. And yes, the owl is meant to be upside down because of the way that the game board's going to be done. And this here is starting the houses. So that's what I got done on that. Now this one right here is very precious to me. And really excited about it because it is going to be a finish for 2019. The Soulful Stitcher actually got 2 finishes. What? What whip, girl? I got that finished. If you didn't see my first video, it's called What Whip. And you'll have to go see it to understand what I'm saying. So, this particular whip right here, which I'm using called for threads and I'm using called for fabric, is by Little House Needleworks, and it is called Bethlehem. And so I am using, excuse me, I am using 40 count fawn. So actually I am wrong. I am not using the called for fabric. The called for fabric for this is R&R Reproductions 30 count 18th century brown. And on the back of it, it's saying you can actually substitute it for 30 count natural raw linen from Northern Cross, or you can use 32 count creek bed brown from R&R Reproductions. So what I just went with was a 40 count fawn. But I did, however, use the actual called for threads, which is Classic Colorworks. You got camouflage, eggshell, sun kissed, fool's gold, hickory sticks, roasted chestnut, and blue corn. And here I am. Literally almost done, dude. Like, I've just got this border and the little stars up at the top. And that's it. So I'm actually going to work on this starting December 1st. And I will not put it down until it's done. Regardless what other progress or plans I have in place, this will be finished by the end of December. And actually, I'm hoping it'll be finished within a week. But in a previous job that I used to have, I used to be able to, and here is the pattern again. I used to be able to stitch kind of in between work. There's times that we had some laws, or I just had mastered the concept of what I was doing and was able to stitch, you know. But this particular role that I'm in now, I can't do it. I have to give it 100% of my focus and time. So now the last thing is, when I went to Michael's yesterday, they had a doorbuster, which you could get a recollections planner, spiral bound, for $10. And this is the 2020. However, I'm not using it as a 2020 planner. What I'm using it for is all of my whips. So what I'm doing is, let me find it. I have an actual spreadsheet of all of my whips. And I've had to write on it, though, because I need to update it. Because there were some new patterns that needed to be added on to it. Okay. So here is a spreadsheet of my whips. And I have it broken down by seasons. Okay. And then if the pattern doesn't quote unquote fit in a season, then I have it called other or full coverage, my Haid and Charting Creations, and then plastic cases. And plastic cases is these. And I have several projects in plastic cases like that. So what I've done is, instead of using this planner as an actual dated planner, I've turned it into a whip book, so to speak, if that's what you want to call it. And so what I'm doing is I'm not whiting out, but I'm taking out the dates. And this is not completed. I just started a little bit of this, so it'll look totally different when it's completed. Kind of quote unquote whited out the date, except for when you get to the ones and I start numbering them. And then what I've done is put in the name of the pattern and who it's by, and I give myself space. I actually messed up here. I meant to give myself 2 blocks of space, but it's okay. And so every time I work on this, I am going to put information in here about my whip. About the fabric that I use, the threads, if I made any changes, beginning and end times. And I know what you guys are going to say is, you know, that's a little primitive, that's a little much, especially when you have the Stitch app on your iPhone and your iPad. And I don't want to use that. I actually like planning. I like putting pen to paper. I like being creative. And that's why I'm going to do it that way. However, I did get this planner also for 2020, right? And this one is dated. It will be dated. It'll be used for the year of whips and stuff like that. So I will start using this one January 1st of 2020. So that's pretty much it. for today. Not a whole lot to show. But I am making progress. I am literally getting stitching in every single day, which I'm loving that because it's keeping my love for stitching renewed and rejuvenated. So, that's pretty much it. Not too much. Everything's good in this side of the hood. Uh, you know, life update. Family's just kicking and sticking, like Popeye's chicken. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you had a fantastic holiday. Monday's around the corner and it's back to business as usual. I hope you guys get a lot of stitching in. And just remember to stay kind and love others. Have a great day, guys. Bye.